Hey founders, Kirk Mitchie with Candor Advisors here. Hey, last week we talked a little bit about some of the things you need to do to make sure you conserve your time and your energy around the inbound interest in your business and what I referred to as death by a thousand cuts. I want to chat a little bit today about another thing you might consider as we continue to have more and more financial sponsors, those private equity buyers, try and talk multiples down, while at the same time you're thinking about making an exit. So here's a great way to make sure that you get a premium valuation for your company, regardless of when you take it to market. And that's to professionalize your financials. Now, what I mean by that specifically is this. Look, if you're using QuickBooks or some other different accounting software, ERP, to drive your financials and your financial reporting, but you don't have CPA prepared financials, then one of the things that happens when you go to market is that even before you're in due diligence, your financials are more questionable from the standpoint of a strategic or a financial buyer. Not because anybody questions your ethics, morals, practices, or anything like that, just because they haven't been run through a filter of sort of professionalizing them. So one way to deal with that is if you're pretty sure you're going to market, talk to a transaction advisor about how your financials look. They generally won't need a retainer in place to kind of give you a sense of whether there is an opportunity to clean a few things up. If you're all cash basis, to make it accrual basis. If you're non-GAAP, to try and make some changes to GAAP. All of the things that will cost you if you go to market, because you'll be kind of downgraded if you haven't made those changes. And then if there's a big difference between, say, your net income and when you add back your interest, taxes, depreciation, amortization, and probably even more importantly, the non-recurring or kind of owner economics in your business, the things you run through your company that won't necessarily be borne by the next buyer when you're gone. If those add backs are pretty meaningful, like let's say they add 25 or 50% to the net income to create an adjusted EBITDA, those transferable economics that the buyer is buying, well, then you ought to consider not only having a CPA prepare your financial statements, but do a sell-side quality of earnings. This creates a bridge from your net income to your defensible transferable economics, that adjusted EBITDA number. And it says that a third party that's regulated in a very specific way has essentially blessed those changes. Then, whether you have a private equity buyer or a strategic buyer, there's a whole lot less likelihood that they're going to be able to assail any part of your economics as kind of not defensible. And then when you talk about selling at a multiple of your adjusted EBITDA, you get a cleaner valuation and a higher likelihood of getting through due diligence successfully and guarding your purchase price all the way to the end through closing. Look, that's a lot of stuff. That's a lot of terminology. If we can help to break some of that down, clarify anything, help you with an unsolicited offer, please navigate over to candor-advisors.com. Take a look at our insights section for other videos explaining some of these things. And in the call to action area, talk to Kirk. Go ahead and ping that. Let me know how we can be useful to you. Thanks. Have a great week.